Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more Scarlet Hollow. Now I don't know how long I've got to record today, so we're just going to go and bumble along and see what we can do. We're leaving episode 2, heading into episode 3. If you'd like to continue with this world state in episode 3, please save your game now. I already did at the end of the last episode. Would you like to see a recap before starting episode 3? I mean, it's been about a week. Just a recap of episode 2. Just in case anything very memorable happens. So, again, this seems to be selected highlights, like the first recap. So I'm pretty much going to skip through this, see if anything important stands out. We do want to see more of Sybil. She was a fun character. It wasn't about privacy, it was about not scaring the boy. Or whatever he'd like to think he is. Missing girl. Do some helicopter. Do some little chats around town with the other lad's mother. Apparently he's not well. Are we hoping to come visit him today? I can't remember. And then there's Wayne again. There's the little girl going off into the mine. Where she shouldn't be. And then we go in there and have our little adventure with the knockers, who no one else seems to see. They hear them, and we partially observe. And here we have these torchlights of literal firebrands. And they're not going to show us a reminder of the rest of them. And unfortunately, a couple of her friends are left down in the mine when it collapses. We don't know if they emerge safely, and Tabitha is mean to us in the car ride on the way back, and I came up with my theory that we'd be having a car trip back home at the end of every episode. When you close your eyes, your thoughts drift to Alexis and Becca, terrified and alone if not already dead. In all fairness, Becca deserves it far more than Alexis, although neither of them really does. Let's wake up. Sunshine filters in through the dusty windows of the estate as the dull aches of last night's activities throb in and out of focus. You managed to survive a second night in the town of Scarlet Hollow. As you pull yourself out of bed, you can feel the soot and grime of the shore mine still stuck to your skin. Yeah, we might want to have a wash. Don't you have a bath? This is a lovely old mansion. They should have a bath here. Why are we forced to take a shower? Has Tabitha got rid of all the bathtubs? She does seem like a person who'd prefer a shower to a bath. Impatient. Utilitarian. Thinks they're being... Was it? Not quite economic, but... the word escapes me. efficient, maybe. Well, let's bathe. You step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. That's a bath! Run a fucking bath, you mental nutjob, Sarah. The water is hot and, surprisingly enough, clean. Means the pipes are in reasonably good condition. As the steam fills your lungs and soot washes over the drain, you... Ooh. So many options. Every minute feels like another thread holding this town together, starting to unravel. Thoughts of doom consume me. Oh, that's a bit gloomy. Think about those two girls still buried in the horrible mine. Yeah, that makes sense. That's the most recent thing on our mind. Think about Gretchen and Stella's face as she pulled the trigger. Now, that's hardly ancient history, but it's the most recent threat should probably be the one that rises most, as we still haven't finished processing that one mentally. Scrub feverishly, trying to scrape the memories from your skin as if they're a part of the dirt that coats you. It doesn't really work like that, I'm afraid. Think about Sybil's warning. The worst is yet to come. Now, I don't know if these aren't explore options, so they aren't necessarily locking me into... For instance, if I think of Sybil's warning, will I be more likely to have an option to go speak with her? Think about Wayne and wonder how many times he's watched you unseen. So far, possibly one. Think about someone special. Who? Think about finally being out of this hellhole and safe in your own bed. Yeah, let's be honest. Think about those two girls still buried in that horrible mine. That didn't take long. You're done here. You turn off the faucet because she stopped acting in Charlie's Angels years ago and dry yourself off. Time to start your day. Presumably we get dressed as well. Let's not check on the opossum. He's happy, he's cozy in his nest. Just leave him there. We will look out the window again. You hold your breath and approach the bedroom window. You saw something out there, out of the corner of your eye yesterday morning, and you can't help but anticipate what might be out there. It's the same view. You turn back to the guest room. We can send either Stella or Kanika a private message, or stick it in the group chat for both of them to see. I'm aware that this game has lots of options to have kisses and cuddles and snuggly wuggles with someone special, and we did have the option to think of someone special in the shower. Although no one's really been that special so far. So, I imagine we'd have an option to send either of them a message privately if we'd had reason to believe that we were growing very close, despite having barely just met each other. So, group chat it is. You pull out your phone and open up your group chat with Stella and Kanika, and there may be a whole load of messages there from them already from last night, with terrible spelling and maybe even some pictures. Now, I believe we have a full plan of action today. I think we go to the coffee shop in the morning, go to see Reese in the afternoon, and then in the evening we go round to the librarian's place and hold a seance, which we have no idea how to do, but we somehow think we do, because we've dabbled a tiny little bit and have no idea what we're doing. Send a photo of a pained old man. Where do we get that photo from? Internet stock art? Time to meet Reese today! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, 1, exclamation mark. Okay. Can't wait. Number 2, ghost bust tonight. Busting makes us feel good. What's the game plan? Last night was terrible. Morning. How are you guys holding up? I'll go with that one. It's one of the most inoffensive. It'll probably be a bit before you get a response. Guess what? They're about to immediately respond. Oh no, okay. Sure. We'll send Stella a message. Why not? You pull out your phone to text Stella. How are you holding up? No, already asked that. Want to hang out before going to Reese and ghost hunting? Send her a photo of a creepy mascot in a grungy basement. Why? Actually, she'd probably appreciate that. She's a bit of a troublemaker, but no, you want to hang out? It'll probably be a bit before you get a response. Send a text to Kanika. We'll pull out our phone and send her a text message as well. How are you holding up? Want to hang out before Reese and the ghost hunting? How are things with Miles? I presume that should be capital M for Miles for her brother. Send her a photo of an exhausted Ben Affleck. Don't know why. Ask if she wants to hang out. Because I think we'd all agreed to anyway before getting involved with the children down in the mine. So that morning plan may have changed. We'll check the closet. Probably shouldn't, but here we go. Every time you see that doll, your heart skips a beat. It hasn't moved, right? No, it looks like it's literally the same artwork as before. It's got the one foot with no shoes sticking out and the other foot dangling anyway. Let's turn back. That's enough of this closet. You turn back to the guest room. We'll leave the opossum to his business and head downstairs. You've done everything you wanted to up here. It's time to start your day. You enter the kitchen and find your cousin in the midst of devouring a pint of banana chocolate chunk. She isn't alone. This would be the woman who she said comes in once a week to do a bit of cleaning. And all the washing up. In fact, that's probably all the cleaning she does do by the state of the place. Frou-Frou glares at you from her usual spot on the counter as a red-headed woman busies herself trying to tidy as best she can. Kinda feel like I should have done some of that. Maybe I did. I seem to remember trying to, and Tabitha telling me to shut up and leave it for the cleaning lady. You have to imagine that the fresh face in the kitchen is Janie. Tabitha did mention that she comes in on Wednesdays to clean. Tabitha's gaze swivels from the woman to you, her glare intensifying. Yeah, look, in all fairness, given the trouble we got into, she's got good reason to be pissed off with us. But she's at home and not at work. Why might that be? It could still be that it's reasonably early. Maybe she's stressed, so she's treating herself to the ice cream before she goes out. Maybe she only eats the ice cream when Janie's here, so that it looks like she's still eating the ice cream, but the rest of the time she doesn't. And the ice cream, of course, has been obtained from the fridge of doom. Hi, you must be Janie. Or, oh, are we having ice cream for breakfast? Do not rub her up the wrong way. She's pissed off already. Any updates on those two girls? Good question to ask. Hey Tabitha, how's it going? Hey, Cuz, how's it hanging? Oh, that'll piss her off. Stare in silence with a moody stare of hatred. No. Hey, you must be Janie. Tabitha mentioned you'd be coming in today. That's right. I'm just here to do a little bit of cleaning. What cleaning Miss Tabitha will let me do, at least. Oh, yeah, look, now she's looking uncomfortable. Now the truth's coming out. She likes to leave it in this state. It feels like what she's used to. But she's really letting the place get run down, and good, look at that cupboard door. I could have this place looking brand new, you know. Yeah, but it would take a lot of work, and Frou-Frou would probably scratch you if you tried. Don't go making any big renovations or moving anything around. I like knowing where my stuff is. Good call. Yeah, you don't move someone else's stuff without their permission. Okie dokie. It's so nice to finally meet you, Sarah. I mean, I guess I did meet you on Monday when you popped into the diner. Did you? Oh, were you behind the counter? Janie. But seeing someone somewhere and meeting them face to face are two completely different things, I suppose. Is she just going to talk over us? Is she really chatty? And that's why Tabitha was like, all I'm trying to say is that it's wonderful to finally actually meet you, and I'm so happy to be part of the... I'm so happy part of the family is here to keep Miss Tabitha company, what with everything that's... Janie! Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Tabitha. Am I being too much again? No, I think she wanted to berate us, and this woman's interrupting. Tabitha grumbles in acknowledgement. Hey Tabitha, how's it going? It's so dismissive. My men have been working around the clock to dig two teenagers out of my mines. Tabitha takes one last spoonful of ice cream, then discards the empty container, turning to you with her trademark scowl. Yeah, we're going to get a lot of that, I think. Let's get going. I've got an errand to run in town, and every time I've left you here alone, something... Oh, no, that's Tabitha, right. Let's get going. I've got an errand to... I kind of wish I had taken the other one to ask about the two teenagers. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, continue. We'll skip a recap, because we've had it already. And you know what? Since we did think of the two girls in the shower, we should absolutely bring that up downstairs. So we looked out the window. Group chat. Leave the wild animal in its lair. It is the lord of its domain. So we greet her. She gets chatty. So, saying good morning, cut off the rest of the conversation as an option. I would have just presumed that's polite. So instead, it's a meaningless, less meaningful good morning. So yeah, any updates on those two girls? It's a bit soon, but you never know. No. Tabitha takes one last spoonful of ice cream, then discards the empty container, turning to you with her trademark scowl. Let's get going. I've got an errand to run in town, and every time I've left you here alone, something terrible's wound up happening. So you're coming with me. Oh. All the way to her work? Is she planning on watching us all day? That's going to seriously interfere with our plans. Or just giving us a lift into town. Haven't had breakfast, can't take away my freedom like that. I don't need a babysitter. I'll meet you outside, or alright, let's go. Staying inside gives us an option to talk to Janie a bit. Tabitha won't like that. And she'd want me to just move. Will she still be here in the evening when I get back? Probably not. Alright, let's go. Great. Janie, lock up when you leave, please, and don't go rearranging anything. I'll know. Shit, am I Tabitha? As you're ready to leave, Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the two of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Oh? Oh, Sarah, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I mean, I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now, and then I heard it again. I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry you got caught up in that. Yeah, look, it was horrible. I'll be praying for all those poor kids. I can't imagine how scared they must be. Last night was an unavoidable tragedy, but I'm afraid there's more to come. Now, let's not scare the poor woman. Should have called our character Cassandra, if she keeps giving prophecies of doom that nobody believes or listens to. Thanks, last night was a lot. Why do you clean this place? Sorry, Tabitha's so mean to you. She's right here! We've seen a weird creature around town. Do you know anything about a guy named Wayne? Have you seen anyone prowling around the estate? Well, it's nice meeting you, but I've got to go. Look, Tabitha's foot tapping his butt driving me insane. Bye. That'll wind her up. I should go. Well, it's, We should at least acknowledge what she said, right? Thanks. Last night was a lot. If you ever need to talk to anyone, my husband is the local pastor. He's a gentleman and always willing to lend an ear. He's actually been going a little stir-crazy ever since we moved here, what with nobody really attending sermons in the haunted church. It'd probably do him a lot of good to talk to you through your worries. As opposed to it doing me a lot of good. You know, wow. We've got one yes, two yeses, one maybe, and 1, 2, 3 no's. The writers really want to offer us lots of different flavours of refusal here, don't they? You know, with everything that's been going on lately, having a priest on speed dial seems handy. Yeah, we probably don't really need a seance, more an exorcism. Having a pastor on speed dial is always handy. Debatable, says Tabitha. Tabitha? You're holding a fucking funeral, you're gonna need a priest for that. And my Daniel is a wonderfully talented pastor. Does Tabitha say debatable again? Also debatable. Enough dawdling. We're leaving. You and Tabitha walk through the doors of the estate and into her car. The ride to town is uneventful. Your cousin, unsurprisingly, more focused on the road than on making conversation. Alright, we're just popping into the general store for a few minutes. Yeah, sounds like she is planning on dragging me off to her work. I could ask what we're doing in there or just go in there and find out. And actually, it would be interesting to see what Tabitha's planning on buying from there. I feel like I should be solving a mystery right now. You know, after everything that's happened the past 2 days, it's nice to just go on an errand. You never know, she might appreciate that sentiment. Exactly. You and Tabitha turn as the door to the general store bursts open. A flustered Kanika exits, shouting behind her. Because her brother was involved in the whole thing down in the mine. Fine, okay, keep coddling him. Keep letting him get away with stuff you never would have let me so much as think about. I'm sick of carrying this family. Kanika storms off, the doors slowly drifting shut behind her. So she didn't slam it. And making a very theatrical gesture of her hand pointing back the way she came. Other people and their drama. If more people kept things to themselves, they'd be a lot happier, would they? Or would they just be a lot lonelier and grumpier? Well, that's very Hemingway of you, is it? I'd never read any of his stuff. It worked out great for all his characters too, and for him. Hey, poor Kanika's probably really going through it. Yeah, I've never been one for public displays like that. I mean, no need to make a scene. I think it's healthy to express yourself. Good for her, honestly. I'd be losing it if Miles were my brother. Sure. Have I ever told you that you scare me? I hope there weren't any customers in there. Do we sympathise with her having a bad time, or point out that, look, her brother caused a lot of this trouble? Yeah. Look, I'd be losing it if Miles were my brother. Yeah, you probably would be. Fucking hell, and she... It's like Malvolio trying to crack a smile in 12th Night. It's grotesque. It might almost be nice to say she should do that more often, but... Fucking hell. She might need a little practice at it. Come on already, let's go. Yeah, but he's here every day, and he comes in to see you every now and then, so Avery's chatting. I hardly think Mr. Tremaine not coming into the diner for one day is something to worry about, replies Sybil. Well, if you say so. See you around, Sybil. He still doesn't look that androgynous, with his sideburns. You have a good one, dear. We should talk to Sybil and piss Tabitha off. Oh, Tabitha, long time no see. Feels like you never made it all the way down to Main Street. Never make it all the way down. Okay. Hey, I'm sure it goes without saying, but I just want you to know that all of us over at the diner really feel for you. Anything you need, just let us know, okay? What? And behind him is Miles. Avery nods. That was possibly some romantic music. Is he soft on Tabitha? Despite being allegedly gender neutral. She looks uncomfortable. Avery nods politely, then leaves without saying another word. Who the hell was that? Don't you live here? I should be asking you who people are. That was Avery, Tabitha, from the diner. Okay, sure. She asks and pretends she isn't interested in the answer. Anyway, it's not important. Good morning, Sybil. At least she's polite to her. Good morning, you two. Hope you're doing well after last night's activities. Is the new blend ready? She looks like a cross between an American Indian and a druid. Of course. Of course. No, she does look a little uneasy there. Sarah, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will be just a minute. We could find out. I mean, we don't really need to ask what's pissed Kanika off. It's pretty obvious. Sounds like your daughter is pretty mad at you, Sybil. Sure. I'm afraid of Miles. What if he makes fun of me for being old? I'm only like 6 or 7 years older than him. Can I have some tea? Is Kanika okay? And she'll be like, oh yeah, she'll calm down eventually or something like that. It sounds like your daughter's pretty angry at you, Sybil. She just needs a little time to cool down. Yesterday was a bit much for her, so I'm giving her some space. Sybil motions for Tabitha to follow, and they both disappear into the tea room, closing the door behind them with a tinkling of bells. I want to go in there. I should have asked if I could have some tea. Oh well. Try and listen in. He'll fucking notice. I mean, he won't care, but he'll notice. Authentic rocks. I mean, it's kind of hard to imagine a rock not being authentic. It's a genuine stone. Fresh picked apples. Pulled from, let's say, Scarlet mine, maybe? It was like quartz crystals. That looks like popcorn. Straws. Sweets, more straws. It was like edible chocolate straws or something. Let's chat with Miles. Not that he'll want to engage with us very much. Look at him. So, Miles. Before you can finish your thought, you're halted by the tinkling of bells announcing another patron. Or in this case, another 2 patrons. Well? Is this one of the minds we spoke to yesterday? He doesn't look that familiar. If it ain't Sarah. Bo, this is Miss Scarlet's cousin. She was there with me that night in the woods. Oh, it's Duke. Oh, Duke, not the... I thought it was the policeman. Well, if it ain't Sarah. Bo, this is Miss Scarlet's cousin. She was there with me that night in the woods. He might be another hunter. It's a pleasure to meet you, miss. My name is Bo. I'm Duke's boy. And fucking massive. Hope you've been faring better since all that unpleasantness. How have you been? You hanging in there? Oh, I can't complain. I miss old Birdie, but there's nothing I can do for her now except protect the rest of my brood. Them things won't so much as step foot on my property. Let's hope that's the case. Not with Bo and me watching the perimeter with our shotguns ever ready. Better make sure we don't go near that place. They might get a bit jumpy and shoot us. We've even set the missus up with her pistol. Good thing we was watching. Nearly caught Julius trying to make off with Big Betty. Who's Julius? As if he could have carried off a nearly 2,000-pound pumpkin on his own. I'd almost like to see him try. It's not like we'll be taking her to the state fair anyway. Now all she's good for is making the world's largest pumpkin pie. Because an animal's been at it? I don't think Mama has a tin big enough for a Big Betty-sized pie, Daddy. Who's Julius? Julius Tremaine. He practically spits out... Julius Tremaine. He practically spits out the name. Some cousin, however many times removed, though I don't claim him as kin. He owns a farm next to ours, except he doesn't seem to have a good grasp on whose property is whose. Thinks he owns half our land, always sneaking around and taking vegetables we planted. Of course, the way he tells it, we're the ones stealing from him, saying he's the one putting seeds in the ground. He's a miserable old cuss, and he knows it too. Stealing vegetables born of other folks' hard labor is probably the only joy he has in his life. And now I think we know why I chose not to attempt American accents for the entire playthrough. Yeah, I read about your family's feud in the library. He's like, did you now? Weird bit of local history for someone to decide to write down. It ain't even interesting. You know, things have got worse. I did hear whispers about what happened up at the mines last night. So sorry to hear about these young ladies. About those young ladies. Scarlet Hollow ain't so safe this week, it would seem. Have you seen any of those creatures from the farm? Have you seen them around your farm? Yeah, we saw a few of those things. They got scared off before I could start shooting. Nasty little buggers. We've all been losing sleep making sure we can keep an eye on things. It's even rubbing off on my hands. None of the little ladies have been laying this week. You know, Daddy, I bet some big mastiff could keep them things away. This seems like just the job for a guard dog. Now, don't you start again. We ain't getting a dog. Surprised you didn't say no dog. I got enough mouths to feed, and as much as you say you'll take responsibility, I know it'll be me cleaning up after it. Besides, I don't have much faith those things wouldn't be stopped by a dog. They weren't last time. Although it barely qualified as a dog. It was more of a one foot in the grave situation. I saw more than a few in that nest. Those things we saw on Monday are called ditchlings, and they're a bad omen. Yeah, those things we saw on Monday are apparently called ditchlings. They're supposed to be a bad omen. Ditchlings? Sounds like some old folk tale, says Bo. Suppose that suits him, says Duke. As for being an omen, I believe that too. But I suppose there's not much to be done if they're forewarning some kind of disaster, besides looking out for me and mine. Still, I appreciate you telling me, Sarah. I keep noticing when his shoulders go down, I don't notice when they rise. Oh dear. Well, nice seeing you, Duke. Oh god, is Miles gonna have to serve him? Because Kanika stormed off in a huff, and has Kanika stormed off in a huff because she thinks she's going to meet us? Because we asked her to. I mean, she'd probably still have had an argument, and she might have left on slightly less acrimonious terms. Well, nice seeing you again, Duke. It was a pleasure running into you, Sarah, but we'd best get on with our shopping. Can't spend too long away from the farm, watching those little devils running around. Can't leave Mama all by herself up there for too long, very long, says Bo. You're a good one. Hope Scarlet Hollow treats you better from now on. It probably won't, but we'll see. It was nice meeting you, Sarah. And please tell Miss Scarlet I'm happy about her mama. I'm sorry, fucking hell. Look, I know I'm a bit sleep deprived, but yeah, I'm happy her mummy died. They shuffle off into the aisles. And there they are. And he really is quite big, isn't he? He reminds me of, that character from the Naked Gun films, who was so tall his head was always cut off the top of the screen, even when he was sitting down. Can't remember his name. But it was a running joke that he was so tall his head was never in the picture. Tabitha and Sybil are still in the tea room. Your phone buzzes. Message from Stella. Oh my god, hey, I overslept. Still gotta make myself breakfast. Meet at library after and figure out plan. And then it buzzes again, Kanika. So this is messages to the private messages, then there's the group chat. Hey again, lol. If want to come over for breakfast, would not hate it. And then it buzzes again. Somebody very busy this morning. Well, we did message 2 friends. Kanika, sliding into my dungeon masters, are we? Sideways smiley face. If wanna hang out before the library thing, I'm parked in the abandoned lot by the gas station. It's hard to miss. You have plenty of time before dinner at Reese's house. Yeah, but Tabitha seems to have plans for us today. Plans that involve us doing nothing, sitting around. She seems to be planning a bring your cousin to work day. However, we've been a precocious little brat so far, always sneaking off and getting up to trouble, and no one seems to be paying attention to us right now. We could check on Oscar, go to the diner to see Avery, wait for Tabitha. So, Kanika's supposed to be our soulmate, the person we are the closest to, the one who, you know, we have some kind of strong bond that we sensed as soon as we came in here. Like a second sister or something. But she's turned out to be a skeptical, somewhat narrow-minded person who's scared of danger. Is that the kind of character we're supposed to be playing? We did take book smarts and mystical as our traits. It seems at some point that she wanted to believe in things beyond the normal, but lost that belief. Stella is more fun, but she's irresponsible. Who the hell is Oscar? Is he the librarian? I think he is. Go to the diner and see Avery. I mean, if we could gather some of our friends together and go there, then Tabitha could walk in and find us and we could all get in trouble. And she'd hate having to interact with them and they could try and make excuses for us. We could wait for Tabitha, which again seems to be tying us into the take your cousin to work day. Kanika was very scared in the mines, or she may have been playing it up a bit to try and cover her fear. And we're supposed to get on really well with her, even though we seem to get on better with Stella. We walked to the mine alone with Stella. Wait. It's breakfast at Stella's house. Don't know where that is. We know where Kanika is. So we've had a little bit of alone time with Stella. We should have a bit of alone time with Kanika to see what the hell we're supposed to be identifying here, apart from disrespectful teenage brat who hates her mother, who's much cooler than she is. Should have really asked to have some tea. We could go check on Oscar and ignore the two people I notice they haven't responded to the group chat. If we go see Kanika, she's going to complain about her mother being all relaxed and libertine, the same way that Stella just wanted to relax and let the kids have some fun. She'll also complain about Miles being allowed to do anything, and why does he get to do what he wants and I don't, you know, prodigal son and all that. But maybe she could really do with a friend right now. And since we're supposed to be so close, although let's at least try and find out what that closeness is like and if we actually like it or not. You follow the directions Kanika texted you and soon find yourself in a disused parking lot hidden behind the shuttered shops on Main Street. This is where she comes to sulk and hate the world and hate herself and feel miserable. She's sitting in the back of her van, suddenly not so cluttered. But she notices you lurking on the edge of the parking lot and waves, her troubled expression brightened into a smile. Hey, you made it! Hop in! What, we're just gonna sit in the back? Yeah, we are, okay. Nice little family photograph. Probably. There's something different about Kanika today. It's as if her spirit has dimmed, her body language tense and tired. Sorry if this is a weird place to hang out. I'm taking a mental health day. I kinda need some space from the store. What's a mental health day? Plus, I feel like an ass. I'm exhausted and a little out of it. Must have inhaled too much coal dust last night. Why would we flirt? Is that flirting or just being friendly, just supportive? Whoa, 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 you're sick? You better not be contagious. It wouldn't be. She wouldn't be breathing it out again. Do you think that something in the mind's made you sick? What's going on with you and your folks? Sound like you're having some kind of argument. How are you doing after last night? Are we still going over to Reese's place today? So, ghost hunting tonight. Is this flirting? Or just being friendly and supportive? The more sensuous nature of his music makes me suspect that the strong cat music in the library was some kind of bizarre flirt with the cat option. And if we had the speak with animals trait, maybe it would have been. If we dip our toes in here as being friendly and supportive, can we back out of it if... Sorry, let's find out. She says she feels like an arse. She's exhausted and a little bit out of it. Well, you look fine. You look great. Are you trying to lay the charm on me? Maybe it's working. Keep it up and see. Okay, maybe I shouldn't. Do you think that something in the mind's made you sick, like your fear of being underground? Kanika reflects on your question and shudders. I was chalking it up to spending too much time breathing in that old mine dust, but with whatever happened to Wayne, I don't want to think about it. Are you sick? I feel great. Well, how does someone know if they're sick? What even is sickness? Oh, that is sick, yo. No, I'm tired, but I don't think I'm sick. Okay, I think that's a relief. Normal sick and cold dust induced asthma I can handle. Now that's the kind of coughing you get with asthma. skin melting off? Not so much. Wait, your skin or... How are you doing after last night? Look, I'm not going to bring up the argument with her family if she doesn't. It's not my place. But then again, am I just distracting her from something she should be dealing with? Not great, if you couldn't tell by now. At least I was able to get to sleep once the adrenaline wore off, even if I barely feel like I got any rest at all. Before things got heated with my folks, Mum gave me some more of this tea that's supposed to be good for, you know, I don't know, recovery, rejuvenation? Maybe you needed some more of the tea. It must have been caffeinated or something because it did not help me fall asleep. But it's kind of helping with the headache. And at least it tastes good. Unlike coffee, which just tastes like ashes and death. What about you? Just feeling lucky to be alive. Normal. We could hardly describe this situation as normal. I feel guilty. I hate it here. I want to leave it. Yeah, just feeling lucky to be alive. That's a good attitude. Hopefully the rest of the week is uneventful. I mean, have you met Stella? We'll make sure to have a chill one today. We'll just hang out with friends and have some fun trying to look for ghosts that don't exist. Unless they do. Or maybe don't exist. Seems like she's slipping, starting to find her faith again. Not gonna lie, I'm starting to question my fundamental understandings of how the world works. What's going on with you and your folks? Should have probably gone into the ghost line there, but I'm not sure the order matters. She sighs. Are you sure you want me to get into it? I don't want to dump all that drama on you. Well, maybe dump a little bit. I'm a fiend for drama. No, not necessarily. I like this one, right? I only know each other a couple of days. Are you sure you trust me like that? Only if you're comfortable sharing. I don't want to pressure you into saying something you'd rather keep private. It'd honestly be a relief to talk about it with someone. Thanks, Sarah. Especially since you were there last night, so you know how it felt to survive something like that unscathed. What's that got to do with... Do you think you survive your family like it's some kind of ordeal that's trying to kill you? And to know not everyone was so lucky. So after I got home last night, I had to deal with my brother. Yeah, there we go. He really made me feel like I was the bad guy, especially once we got home. Like, what happened to those two girls was my fault. And Mum didn't help. She never does. She always takes his side, saying he's young and allowed to make mistakes. Mistakes that I could never dream of getting away with. Would you like to make some mistakes? Probably shouldn't ask that question. When we told her what happened, she just said the same shit she always does about family and getting along and sent us to bed with tea. Her favourite method of conflict resolution. As if a little hot leaf water ever really helped anybody. Well, sometimes it does. Is that all? I don't know how you deal with these people. Yeah, look, I'm sorry that doesn't sound too bad. Sorry that sucks. What's the deal with her and tea anyway? I don't know. If you've seen the sign in the tea room, it's apparently tea is life. It's like she thinks she's some kind of witch. She probably actually is. It kind of boiled over this morning though. She wound up blaming me for letting Miles sneak off into the mines, saying that if I'd been working here like I was supposed to, he wouldn't have got into trouble. Like I'm supposed to be in charge of a sullen teenager every second of the day. Well, you certainly act like one. While working. No, emphasis on while working. And it's not like I don't care. I'm always stressing out about that kid, or the store, or a million other little things I'm supposed to deal with. None of this should be on me. These are the best years of my life, and I'm wasting them in this dying town, keeping a store afloat while my mum just messes around with her little herbs or whatever. Yeah, she's a fucking ungrateful bitch. I'd have made it out of here, damn it. I'd gotten into grad school. Oh man, you came back? I was good at it. I was going to graduate with honours and everything. But Dad died and I came back for the funeral, then I had to stick around just to help Mum sort out a few things. First it was a month, then 2. Maybe I should stick around with Tabitha, then you'd have a friend in town. When you got a friend already. And now here I am, over a year later, and these few things became my life. I don't want to be this person. Well, what were you studying? What were you going to graduate with? What honours? What skills were you picking up? If I could, I'd just drive this van all the way to the coast, lie down on the beach and never come back. And then a dog would come and piss on me. Actually, in all fairness, my first impression was a man would come and piss on you, but it would be more likely to be a dog. What about Stella and Reese? They're good friends of yours. Look, when it comes to Reese, I love the dude, but I haven't seen him in person in a long time. Hardly a reason to stay here. Stella, though, she was so happy when I came back. Yeah, she was kind of bored too and needed a friend, you know? I mean, she was upset about the circumstances, but she'd missed me so much. And I just haven't made time for her. Maybe you should. I know she understands why, but I feel awful just driving off. I'd feel awful just driving off and leaving things like this. Well, don't then. Yeah, it must get lonely out here in this car park. They're your family. Don't you want to help them? We could encourage her to fuck off. Wow. Do it, just get out of here and do it and take me with you. Nah, I should stick around for the funeral at least. The thing is, I don't think either of these options are necessarily going to result in her leaving. But her reaction to the encouragement is what will matter. She might laugh and be like, yeah, I couldn't do that. Sounds like they need you here. Family's important. I should know, I've got fuck all left. Yeah, we'll go with that one. Kanika is quiet for a moment, staring out at the overgrown parking lot. Probably thinking, no, they're not. I hate, but they... That's what people say. I don't think I buy it. It's not like I choose the people I'm related to. They're just people with all the flaws that come with being human. Fucking hell, you're an evil cunt. I don't know why I let myself get weighed down by some weird idea that I'm supposed to care about them more than anyone else in my life. Because you have a closer bond, they look after you and care for you the same way, if the time came and they needed to. You might not feel it now, but they do, in their own way. Imagine the connections I could be making if I left. Fucking career again, really? Connections with people who respect me, who don't treat me like either a nagging pest or a perpetual kid. I want that. Well, you are a bit of a nagging pest. Nowhere near as much as Tabitha. And you are acting like a child. I want my life back. Why don't you make your life? Make it... I don't mean leave town. I mean, make something nicer out of the life you've currently got. Advice I should probably take better heed of. God, and of course I feel like an arsehole for talking about all of this now, the morning after a mine collapse. Yeah, no fucking kidding. But I guess that's what's pushed all this over the edge. Getting a bit dry-throated here. Nothing like a major disaster to make you question the direction your life has taken, right? I wouldn't have met you if I hadn't stuck around. It's not all bad. I'm not sure this is a good idea to push this. Are we still going over to Reese's place today? Oh, right. With everything going on, I'd almost forgot. Yeah, I think it's around 4. Here's hoping he's still up for it. I'm dying to know what he's been up to in that little dungeon room of his. Hey, and you might get to see your old friend Reese again, see? I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried about the guy, even with everything else that's been going on. He's so mysterious. I can't wait to meet this strange basement man. I mean, if we'd gone for the I love drama option earlier, this would have made more sense. Any tips for making a good first impression? I hope he lives up to the hype. Don't trust his mother. His mum's got it rough. Her whole life's probably been derailed by this. I don't trust her. Which was one of the dialogue options we should have clicked if we were truly as like her as it seems, and it did stand out a bit. He's so mysterious. I can't wait to meet this strange man who lives in the cellar. No one says basement in England. I mean, that's a generalisation, but you know what I mean. I'm glad you found his Phantom of the Opera vibes intriguing. Oh really, he sings a lot, does he? Or do you mean he starred in some Mothers Do Happen? He's Frank Spencer? Oh fucking hell, that'd make this game quite funny. Oh, Betty! It's probably going to be good for him to meet new people, and old people too. Maybe it'll get him to leave his underground fortress every now and then. I thought his mother said he's not well. Dragging him out might not be the best idea. You remain silent, not liking the other 2 remaining dialogue options enough to want to investigate them. We could flirt with her again, let's not do that. So, ghost hunting tonight? Yep, I didn't forget Stella's little evening plans. I'm still pretty sure there's no such thing as ghosts, but I'm starting to lose a little bit of that conviction. Perhaps that's a good thing. After last night, and after seeing those ditch things on the road, ditchlings, Kanika visibly shudders. Here's hoping it's just the pipes or something. I don't need to see any more supernatural shit this week. Girl, you probably will. Still think there's a rational explanation for all of this. What if ghosts are just a red herring? What if all of this is actually because of aliens? I hope the ghosts are really scary. Not necessarily. If I see a ghost tonight, I'm going to have a panic attack. I'm just looking forward to helping Oscar feel safe in his house. Whether there's a ghost or not, I want to help him and Rosalina feel comfortable moving back in. Same here, that poor kid. I just hope this hasn't been too traumatic for her. Depends on if she takes it as badly as you take coming home and staying for a little bit to help with your father's funeral. I thought you were a skeptic. You seem a lot more open about the supernatural than you were yesterday. Sure. A true skeptic is also skeptical of their own biases and always ready to admit when they're wrong. I'm going in with an open mind. Too academic, too much time being a student getting a degree. Besides, I've always wanted to believe in magic. Like back when we were kids and still making videos together, I was embarrassingly into it. Why is it embarrassing? There were probably still videos on YouTube of middle school me genuinely trying to transform into a Sailor Scout, whatever the fuck a Sailor Scout is. Please don't look them up. I thought that if magic was real and I figured out how to use it, I'd actually be able to leave this town. Or use it to make the town better. Kanika stares at the ground, embarrassed. I just wanted to get whatever the Ice-Cade, if you know, whatever the fuck that is. I guess being good at school was enough to make that happen in its own way. Even if I wound up stuck in the same hole I'd managed to dig myself out of. Let's just share a quiet moment. Just lean back, relax as much as we can with the cold, hard side of the van digging into our back. Gaze out over the car park and the urban squalor, well, suburban. A soft breeze blows across the lot. The lot of what? As you and Kanika share a quiet moment, I don't automatically assume that's a car park. This quiet moment may be different if we had attempted to flirt with her a second time, although that seemed completely unnecessary. Both your phones buzz in unison. You reach for them at the same time. It's almost like there's a group chat we set up earlier. Stella's message. Almost forgot, it's Major Jimmy Day! Good excuse to head over to the library. We should check in with Oscar and Rosalina. Yeah, sounds good. That's kind of what I was hoping we'd be doing this morning anyway. Meet fake word you're all there in half an hour. Wow, I totally blanked on my Major Jimmy thing. Major Jimmy isn't Reese. What the fuck is Major Jimmy? It's almost like we just went through a traumatic event or something and I'm not on top of my schedule. Except she's American, so she says schedule. I really hate the sked word. Because I often forget how to say it. I just look at it and go, it's shed. Fucking wish it would make up its mind. But Stella's right, this gives us a chance to meet up with Oscar, and Major Jimmy's awful cute. Whoever Major Jimmy is. Is it the cat? I guess it's time to see the dog Mare. It's a fun time, even if you already know about the Mare's secret. Anyways, we'll chill with Major Jimmy, go to Reese's for dinner, then do some ghost hunting tonight. Thank God we have so much going on today, I really needed the distraction. And Tabitha's going to hate us for sneaking off while she was in the back room of the shop. Right, I can't let you go anywhere. I'm going to have to put you in prison or something and lock you in your bedroom tomorrow. And thanks for letting me vent earlier. It helped. Yeah, Stella could have probably done with some help like that too, but... especially if she lost her dog. Kind of thinking Kanika isn't quite the right fit for us, despite being blatantly told that she was the first time we met her. Which is kind of pushing us into a role I'm not entirely comfortable with, and her actions since then have changed my impression of her. Shall we? She does seem uncomfortable, uncertain. Let's go to the library. And you know what? I might not be able to record for much longer, so I'm actually going to stop here. It's a good narrative breaking point. And she's dressed up like a Ghostbusters character for some reason. People lining up to see the mayor. The words reading adventure are still there. And the picture of a man being run out of town. Alright, I am going to leave this episode here then. I hope you've all enjoyed this one, and I'll look forward to seeing you all in the very next episode. I'll say goodbye for now, everyone, and see you all soon. Cheerio.